Prepare to experience the strongest radio allowable by law. Secrets will be revealed. Myths dispelled. From the studio gym where excuses never apply, it's Superhuman Radio with your host, Carl Lenore.
This is Science for Humans with Dr. Jeff Galini.
Supplement Santa.
Hey, what's going on?
So I got a beef with you. I got to pick a beef with you. You ready for this?
What's that?
I like Creafem. People don't realize this, but Dr. Jeff makes a Crealkaline blend just for women called Creafem. It has just a tiny bit of green tea extract in it. We're talking about very, very little caffeine at all, but I feel it. It's fantastic stuff.
It's pretty good. You know, I have a product in Europe called Super Pro or Crealkaline Pro, and it's kind of that version, you know, with those tea extracts, but a little bit stronger. But yeah, that is a good product. I mean, even though it's pink in caps and, you know, for women.
Get your pink on, guys. Creafem works. Buy it for your gal and then sneak caps like I'm doing with Elisa.
Hey, it's our stuff, right? I mean, don't they sneak some of our things that we take?
All the time. And speaking of the women that we love, we've gotten actually several people, ironically, email you, coming from the position of, hey, you know, especially those of us who are getting older, guys, we tend to maintain our libido, but women's libido seems to wane away. And so we've had a lot of people want to ask you the questions, you know, what can be done to help their partner increase the libido? Dangerous question. It's almost like a landmine, isn't it?
It is, you know, and I had one question that I was actually going to read. I'm not going to say the person's name because this is kind of a sensitive subject, but this kind of tells you, you know, what led into this show. She goes on to say, my husband and I are big fans of the show and listen to it daily. We've been married for 27 years, and my question might seem a little strange, but I'm just really curious and can't find any answer. My husband and I have always had a really good sex life, but the last couple of years, my husband has even a stronger libido than even when we were married when he was 20. I always had the impression that men lose their libido as they grow older, and so far I've seen no sign of that. I'm not complaining by any means, but I would like to know, is there anything that I can do to keep up with him? Then she goes on to say, I do exercise, watch my diet, and those type of things, but I would love for my libido to match his. And thank you so much. We are huge fans of the show. So
and
those are the type of questions that I'm seeing, Carl.
But I think there's something that's really important here to note. We're going to talk about the female libido, but think about this. The general population, men in the general population, are listening to commercials about Viagra and erectile dysfunction and the men's clinic. But the people in our community, the men in our community, they're not having those problems. I just wanted to point that out. And that's it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think, you know, obviously this is a healthy couple, you know, who exercises and things. And like, you know, I mean, that's the key thing. You know, the commercials and things you see, those are for, you know, non-active people for the most part.
What did Arnold used to call them at Venice Beach? He used to say the regular people. The regular people. That's for the regular people. That's not for us super people.
I love it, man.
So what do you say to women who are saying, you know, I want to have a better libido. I don't have it. It's not like I don't enjoy sex, but I just don't have the drive. What do you say to them?
You know, this was a very interesting topic because obviously I had never thought about it. You know, we're always concerned about, you know, our health and what we do. So this is really something that was real specific. And, you know, normally most people think that it's only men that lose their libido. But that's not true. You know, women have the same issues around 34 years of age, which is before and, you know, after menopause. You know, that whole cause of loss of that drive, it's a complex thing, and it's not just all hormone related. So I kind of wanted to go down several topics that or several categories that kind of affect that libido. And the first one is probably one of the more obvious ones, is the estrogen changes.
Right.
So as we know, before menopause, women's sexual drives, they're peaked. During that whole ovulation time, when their period stops, the estrogen dips. And as they say, the revved up days, they're kind of gone for a while. And during menopause, a lot of women, they just don't respond to touch. It's hard for them to get aroused. The night sweats, the moodiness. So, estrogen plays a big part. Plus, it also causes a low blood flow, to areas, and dryness. So
right.
Again, a lot of times, women during that period, they just don't want anything to do with it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's kind of the one thing. So here's a couple things that kind of help, during the estrogen change is, my first comment back to these gals was, because this was pretty common denominator, is just kind of stop the pain, if you have the pain. So try, some of the over-the-counter things, some of the over-the-counter lubricants,
right.
Talk to your doctor, about some medication for dryness.
Right.
There are some oral, drugs, that help, some creams and things. But I always say stay away from the hormones unless it's a necessity.
The hormones affect certain neuroendocrine chemicals, most notably dopamine is one of them, and serotonin is the other. And these exert a great push-pull on libido and even orgasm for women. And a lot of times, as these hormones disappear, it's the effects on those two neuroendocrine chemicals that really manifest what is considered a loss in libido. But you're right. If sex becomes uncomfortable for a woman, she's not looking forward to it.
No, and the traditional hormone replacement therapy that they offer for women, this doesn't increase the sex drive. What it does is just kind of eases the hot flashes and the symptoms, but they still leave the lady, kind of feeling not so sexy, which kind of moves into the next topic, is life stress.
Yeah.
A lot of times we don't think about this, but, midlife, many women you're deep in a marriage, a job, you're raising teens, you're caregiving, and all this stuff just kind of ramps up on you, and it puts a damper, basically takes that sex drive and puts it in the park. Sometimes you don't even want anything to do with it. It's, nothing to do with the guy. It's just that, that stress. It just decreases things.
Yeah.
So, again, the recommendation is exercise, is probably the best thing, huh, Carl? Your diet, good food.
But also doing things to de-stress. So many of us get swept away into raising a family, and we forget who we were coming into the relationship. And it's important to make those connections. You and your husband have to get away. You have to do things together. It can't be all service and sacrifice, or life becomes boring. And the last thing you want to do is have sex, make love. You don't want to do it, or you're angry.
Yeah, and you got to find other things. You said something, I don't know whether it's on the show or to me in person, but how you have a movie night.
Yeah.
And, I started doing that. And, I find that it's really enjoyable. We just sit down, because you never take, a lot of times, 2 hours just to sit and do something.
Right.
But I found it's relaxing, to watch a movie together that you both kind of agree. So, that's kind of another thing. Find a movie, sit down, and spend some time together.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's another one, is androgen changes.
And this is one that women don't think about. Women don't think about androgens, and doctors who work with women don't think about androgens. This is a good point.
Oh, absolutely. Nope, absolutely. And, most women don't think, when you think about testosterone, androgen, you think about, oh, that's male related. No, women have androgen. It's an important hormone in their body. And women are 2 to 3 times more prone to drop in desire because of that androgen. So a lot of times, things are blamed on, menopause or other things, when actually it's just kind of a drop in these androgen levels. But keep in mind, there's no FDA approved male hormone therapy for women. So, just don't go out and start taking some, androgen or, testosterone, because again, that's not going to, it's not going to actually benefit you because you've got so many side effects. We're going to talk a little bit later in the show about, some recommendations for some of these categories.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a really important point. Women don't think that testosterone plays a role in their health and well-being, but it plays a big role, and it's not something you can fool around with willy-nilly without the support of an intelligent doctor. And then all of this leads to depression, doesn't it? Isn't this funny?
It does. That's actually that real rolls in the next thing is that, women are more prone to depression than men. And it starts to peak, during that 40 to 59. A lot of times, everyone wants to say, oh, depression is caused by menopause. No, it's just part of, aging. It's part of stress. It's part of what goes on, inside of a woman's body. Yeah. So again, what's important to realize is if you go to the doctor and they put you on common antidepressants, this will actually mute your sexual response or your sexual desires. So most of those are one of the side effects. So again, women who are on all these different types of drugs, they may help with hot flashes and menopause and, your depression. But again, keep in mind that they're going to lower your desires, or if not, as I said, put it in park completely.
This is really important. Most women who are on SSRIs lose libido and lose the ability to orgasm. This happens to men too, by the way, because once you start to fool around with that very precise, delicate dance between dopamine and serotonin, you lose your libido and you lose the ability to climax. And then who the heck wants to have sex then? It's like a chore now. So if you're a woman and you're on an antidepressant and you are saying, I want my libido back, you're going to have to get with your doctor and talk about an alternative to that antidepressant. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen with those drugs fouling up your brain chemistry.
Absolutely. There's something called talk therapy that you can, we don't think about a psychiatrist as, someone that can help us, but a lot of times you can talk through that depression. It's usually caused by, some stress or something that happened. So that's a good thing you can do, which is an alternative to drugs.
Yeah. And you know what? Sadness is an appropriate feeling. We think that sadness is, I just saw an ad yesterday about a study showing, mothers who go through postpartum depression. They want to start treating postpartum depression with SSRIs. Look, postpartum depression has been shown to be a result of a hormone imbalance. You just got to wait for your hormones to straighten out. You don't need to get on an SSRI. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I'm telling you. You know what? You are taking your life in your own hands when you walk into a doctor's office today if you are not strong of convictions and well-informed. Seriously.
Amen.
All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll talk about some alternative approaches to help women find their libido, get their groove back. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Do you know how to properly use carbohydrates to ignite your performance in the field and in the gym? You will now, thanks to this free book by EFX Sports. The Carb User's Guide for Maximum Performance reveals why omitting carbohydrates from your diet can totally crush your gains. Ever wonder how many grams you need for your specific sport? Not anymore. We give you the critical number you need to dominate your competition. You'll even discover the super carb that's taking the athletic world by storm. You must try it to believe it. Go to getcarbolin.com/carb guide today and get your copy absolutely free. Once again, it's GETKARBOLYN.com/
C-A-R-B-G-U-I-D-E.
If you take curcumin, you need to pay attention. The best curcumin on earth is metacurcumin. Metacurcumin is up to 277 times more bioavailable and absorbs over 6 times faster than standard curcumin supplements. Metacurcumin even outperforms those supposedly high-performance curcumin products. There's only one metacurcumin by Rev Genetics. You could save 20% off metacurcumin by clicking the banner ad at superhumanradio.com and use superhuman curcumin at checkout. If you want to help stop inflammation in its tracks, you need metacurcumin by Rev Genetics today.
The category killer is back. Mass Pro Synthogen, with results literally from workout 1. You'll recover like you're a teenager again. If you've been pouring your heart out in the gym with little to nothing to show for it, you owe it to yourself to see the performance-enhancing and cosmetic effects it can make almost immediately. One user said, "I wish I could have tried it sooner. I just ordered 2 more bottles." And another, "The overall single best bodybuilding supplement I have personally ever used." Visit CoachRobRegish.com or PredatorNutrition.com to learn more today. Mass Pro Synthogen. When you train with it, you'll gain with it.
Not all so-called deodorants are the same. Only Goodness Inside deodorant is a multi-benefit deodorant that's not only free of aluminum and toxins, but provides the body with nutrients it needs, like magnesium, pure dead sea salts, minerals, and vitamins.
I am a big fan of Only Goodness Inside, the MVDO Healthy Deodorant. I'm a businesswoman. I have to dress up at work. It goes on smooth, it dries quickly, and it never gets on my clothes.
Go to superhumanradio.com and click the Only Goodness Inside banner ad to save 25% off your order today.
MadeByHemp.com sells the highest quality products derived from industrial hemp, raw oils high in CBD, tinctures, and salves. You can also get fashionable apparel made from industrial hemp at MadeByHemp.com. CBD is a constituent of industrial hemp that has no psychoactive properties, but has been shown to provide a variety of health benefits. Go to MadeByHemp.com today and take a look at all of our amazing products. Use the coupon code SHR to save 25% off your entire order. MadeByHemp.com, your one-stop shop for all things hemp on the web. Too much on your mind to fall asleep? Oh, no. It happens to all of us every now and then. Instead of counting sheep, count Sleep Factors, a naturopathic formulated blend that supports falling asleep naturally. No medicated numbing, no harsh interruptions of your body's natural flow. Sleep Factors work in harmony with your body and its natural rhythms, so sleep just happens naturally. Sleep Factors by Michael's Naturopathic Programs. You can find Sleep Factors and Michael's entire line of body-loving naturopathic formulations at your local health food store or online at michaelshealth.com. Practitioner formulated, practitioner approved.
Hey, this is Carl. Start your day just like I do with a high-dose lipospheric vitamin C from Live On Labs. You too can benefit from Live On Labs' lipospheric delivery system. No more pills or powders. That's outdated technology. Live On Labs has the world's most efficient vitamin delivery system, period. Learn a lot more today at liveonlabs.com and benefit from their new reduced pricing. That's liveonlabs.com, Livon labs.com.
You're listening to the Superhuman Channel. Don't hate us because we feel good.
This is my buddy, one of the Transformers. He just put out a new album. This is him. This is Triceptor. Here we go. It's going to rock now. Yeah, bring it, baby. Okay, enough of that. Anyway, Jeff's like, what the hell is this guy doing today?
Oh, man.
I feel great, man. My training is doing good. I'm putting on muscle. I've got a challenge coming up. I'm going to do something. I'm going to post about it. I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to continue to train and eat the way I've been training and eating through February. And then March, I'm going to do a real legitimate 16-week cut and see what I look like in June. I've got a lot more muscle on me now than when I turned 50. I had a guy at the gym ask me this morning if I was using anything. I mean, I'm on HRT, so I guess technically I am, but you know what? No, I said, no, I've made a job of eating. I'm eating every 3 hours. I'm eating 60 grams of protein every 3 hours with carbs and fat. I mean, it's a lot of work to eat all day long, man.
It is. Lots of meal prep. We'll have to do a whole show just on what you're doing, man.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so what can women do about their libido? Are there any tricks out there, any natural things that they can try?
All right, hopefully all the men didn't tune out now, because the first one is external. And this one goes to the men. Don't complain when your lady wants to get her hair dyed, because if she looks well and she feels good, she's going to feel better about herself. So let her spend all the money she wants on hair products and makeup. That's good for her. She needs to feel well about herself.
Right.
So open up your checkbooks, guys. Women, don't feel bad. You need to feel good about yourself. So go buy yourself some new clothes. Take your husband's credit card tonight and tell buy a new outfit. Dr. Jeff told you to. Again, feel good about yourself. That's going to help you feel better without clothes as you do with clothes.
Right.
Now, some of the the internal things. My number one recommendation may seem a little silly, but you need a multivitamin product. The reason is, again, you got to have everything internally working. Food is a very important part of feeling good, having energy. And if you're not absorbing those properly, then again, you're not going to feel well. So use something like VitaDrive, which is a product by EFX Sports. I'm partial because we make it. The other thing that I give to a lot of women, not necessarily for this particular instance, because this is kind of new for me, but I give it to all the women that I'm helping with their context, is a little bit of Taxidrol, which is our testosterone booster. And I use the capsule form, and the women respond very well to it. So this is one of the things I recommended to the gals who have presented this question. Helps to increase your testosterone levels very gently, works with your body. The other thing is just make sure from a diet standpoint that you get enough protein. A lot of times women eat more carbohydrates and fat than they do protein. Again, you want to feel well, you want to respond in the gym. So get on a good protein, get about 1 gram per pound of body weight, and eat smaller meals and make sure that you space those out. Try to get that 4 meal, maybe 5 meals. Another thing, Carl, is L-arginine. Let's get a little blood flowing.
Right.
Works well for men, it works well for women. So those are kind of my external, other than some oysters, huh?
Yeah, there you go, man. But let's talk about why oysters. Zinc. Zinc is an aromatase inhibitor.
Yep. And, you hear all about aphrodisiacs, eat oysters, eat oysters, eat oysters. That's great. But like you said, it's the zinc. So sometimes it's just a deficiency in some zinc. So if you like oysters, there you go. If not, add a little bit of zinc to your diet. 15 to 30 milligrams a day is usually enough to help you on that.
The 2 notes I made to myself is, number 1, dieting. So women are always on a diet. Oh my God, I stepped on the scale this morning. I put on 3 pounds. I am not eating. Guess what shuts down your libido? Extreme dieting. You know why? Because it completely disrupts sex hormones. When you start dieting, your body interprets that as the environment is hostile. There's not enough food for us to survive. We surely couldn't have offspring, so let's shut down the reproductive machinery, because we don't want to have a baby right now when there's not even enough food for us. If you think that that's an exaggeration, you reach out to anybody who studies evolutionary science, and they'll explain that to you. So if you're starving yourself to fit into that dress, you can forget about your libido. Ask any female bodybuilder when she gets 4 or 5 weeks out, and she's literally eating, 800 calories a day and doing 3 hours of cardio. She stops having her period. You know why? The body says, oh, we couldn't reproduce right now. This is a hostile environment. So if you are constantly yo-yo dieting, you're not going to have libido. And fat in the diet is critical for that one. The other thing is, if you want to try an over-the-counter hormone, try 50 milligrams of DHEA. Just see what happens. Because the nice thing about DHEA is it is a precursor to both estrogen and testosterone. And if the body is functioning properly, you're getting your multivitamins, you're getting enough sleep, you're eating enough in your diet, your body will convert some of it to estrogen and some of it to testosterone. It's the direct precursor to both estrogen and testosterone. So a little bit, start out with 50 milligrams, nothing crazy. If you tolerate that and you feel like, I think I feel better, try 100 milligrams for a few days and make a decision. If no change, go back to 50, because you always want to take the lowest effective dose. But those are the only two things that I could think of that Dr. Jeff, because you did such a thorough job on covering all this. And really, in my humble opinion, your tip on feel good about how you look is the greatest aphrodisiac in the world.
Absolutely.
You hit the nail right on the head. When women don't feel good about how they look, the last thing they want to do is get naked in front of the guy they're crazy about. They've been crazy about for 20 years, had kids with them. The last thing they want to do is have you see the little dimple on my butt right now or something like that. Something usually us guys were like, look, we love you. We don't see that stuff, but they see it. So ladies, if you want a libido, you need to look good naked again. And you can do it. Make that your mission. Right, Dr. Jeff?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, get in the gym, get healthy, dress nice, feel good, smell good. Again, and you will find that libido increases. Now, another, just a quick note, because, they do call me the supplement Santa.
Bingo. I knew it was coming.
Well, again, I really want to help women, because this is a tough thing. It's very difficult for women to talk about. So again, I have some Toxidrol samples that, it isn't marketed that way. It's marketed, as a male product. But if you want to try it, I'll get you a couple weeks supply, and see if that helps you. Maybe it'll just help you enough to kick over. Maybe it's something you might want to use. Go to, superhumanradio.com, scroll down, ask the scientist, and you can just, say, I listened to the show on Libido and I'd like to try that item you're talking about. And if you need any help with talking to your man about opening up his credit card, send me his number and I'll take care of that for you too.
That's a good one. I like that one. A lot of the guys right now are going, oh, come on.
Hours, man. Come on, guys.
No, I know. You know what's really funny? When we wanted that woman, we courted her. Money was no object. We paid attention to her. 20 years later, she's talking. You're not even listening. She says, did you hear what I said? And you go, yeah, I heard. Well, repeat it to me. Oh, gee, come on. I'm busy doing. That's, you want to talk about, a changing code for women? You want to change the code? Start listening to your girlfriend. Start listening to your wife again. Pay attention. Look at them.
Absolutely.
Have both ears and both eyes trained on them and listen to them. Now, there's a lot of things you can do to help, and there's a lot of things women can do too. Great show today, Dr. Jeff. Really, really great show.
Well, thanks, Carl. We'll keep up the eating, and I'll be looking forward to your texts on what's in your hot logic today.
There you go, brother. Okay, talk to you later.